We often believe that even the most powerful animals can become our companions. We spend years forming bonds with them, training them, and understanding their behavior. But what happens when that trust is shattered in a single, horrifying moment? Imagine working alongside a majestic orca for over a decade, only to have it turn against you in a violent attack. Or sneaking into an animal's enclosure, thinking it would be a thrill, only to be met with a gruesome fate. In today's video, we'll uncover the chilling last moments of two individuals whose encounters with killer whales ended in unimaginable tragedy. These real-life cases will make you question whether wild animals can ever truly be trusted. Number 1. Jessica Radcliffe. A dream that ended in tragedy. Jessica Radcliffe's story is both inspiring and heartbreaking. From a young age, she was drawn to the ocean, fascinated by marine life. Her father, a biologist, frequently conducted research on aquatic creatures, and Jessica spent her childhood surrounded by dolphins, whales, and sea turtles. It wasn't just admiration. She felt a deep connection to them, one that would shape the course of her life. As she grew older, Jessica's passion led her to pursue a degree in marine biology, and at just 19, she secured a dream job at Ocean Haven Marine Park. Her dedication and talent made her a rising star in the field, and by 21, she had become one of the most well-known orca trainers in the country. But behind the breathtaking performances and the picture-perfect bond between human and animal, trouble was brewing. Her star performer, an orca named Mello, had been showing signs of distress. Trainers noticed erratic behavior, aggression, refusal to follow commands, and even slamming his head against the walls of his enclosure at night. These were clear warning signs that something was deeply wrong. Yet, despite the concerns, Ocean Haven Marine Park pushed forward with one last grand performance, one that would feature only Jessica and Mello in the spotlight. The stands were packed. A massive crowd had gathered, eager to witness the incredible chemistry between Jessica and Mello. Even her parents were in the audience, beaming with pride. At first, the performance went flawlessly. Mello leaped gracefully through the air, responding to Jessica's signals with perfect precision. The audience erupted in applause. But then, everything changed in a heartbeat. For the final trick, Jessica climbed onto Mello's back, expecting him to glide smoothly across the water, just as he had done countless times before. Instead, Mello's body stiffened. His movements became erratic. And then, in a horrifying instant, he twisted mid-swim and clamped his massive jaws around Jessica's torso. For a moment, the audience sat in stunned silence, unsure if this was part of the act. But within seconds, the brutal reality became clear. Jessica screamed in agony as Mello tightened his grip, his powerful jaws crushing her ribs. Trainers on the sidelines rushed into action, throwing food into the water, clapping, shouting commands, but Mello refused to release her. Instead, he did something even more horrifying. With a sudden burst of power, Mello dove deep into the tank, dragging Jessica down with him. Trainers and rescue teams scrambled to intervene, but the sheer force of the 12,000-pound orca made any attempt futile. Mello thrashed violently, slamming Jessica against the tank walls over and over again. Underwater, she struggled desperately, her lungs burning for air. The sheer force of the attack shattered her ribs, ruptured her organs, and caused massive internal bleeding. Blood filled the water as the horrified crowd looked on, helpless. In a desperate final attempt, trainers deployed a hydraulic net to lift Mello out of the pool, the only way to force him to release Jessica. When her lifeless body was finally retrieved, she was rushed to the hospital, but it was far too late. The tragedy sent shockwaves across the world, and within weeks, Ocean Haven Marine Park shut down permanently. Some called it a freak accident. Others saw it as an inevitable consequence of keeping such intelligent, powerful creatures in captivity. But Jessica's death wasn't the only case that raised disturbing questions about the dangers of human-wildlife interactions. Number 2. Daniel Patrick Dukes. A deadly mistake. Unlike Jessica, Daniel Patrick Dukes wasn't a trainer. He wasn't a marine biologist. In fact, he had no experience with animals at all. He was a thrill seeker known for his reckless behavior. On July 6, 1999, he pulled off what he thought was the ultimate stunt, sneaking into SeaWorld after hours. Dukes managed to evade security, hiding inside the park until it closed for the night. When the coast was clear, he wandered the empty park, exhilarated by the idea of having it all to himself. Then he saw it, a massive water tank. Unaware of the danger, he climbed the edge of the enclosure and jumped in, believing it would be a fun swim. But what he didn't realize was that he had just entered the domain of Tilikum, a massive 12,500-pound killer whale with a history of aggression. At first, nothing happened. Dukes floated in the water, completely unaware that he had just made a fatal mistake. But then, Tilikum noticed him. The giant orca, disturbed from his sleep, moved with terrifying speed. Within seconds, Dukes was dragged beneath the surface. Panicked, he tried to swim away, but it was useless. Tilikum clamped his powerful jaws around him, crushing his ribs on impact. Dukes struggled, thrashing wildly, but the more he resisted, the tighter the orca's grip became. Throughout the night, Tilikum toyed with his body, repeatedly pushing him underwater, ensuring he never resurfaced. When the SeaWorld staff arrived the next morning, they were met with a gruesome sight: blood in the water, and Daniel Patrick Dukes, his broken, lifeless body, floating at the surface. The autopsy revealed horrifying injuries: multiple broken bones, deep bite wounds, extensive internal damage. Once again, the incident raised major concerns about whether such powerful creatures should ever be held in captivity. But for Dukes, the realization had come far too late. Jessica Radcliffe and Daniel Patrick Dukes, two very different people, two very different circumstances, but both met the same horrifying fate. These cases serve as a chilling reminder that no matter how much trust we place in wild animals, their instincts remain unpredictable. Whether it's years of companionship or a single reckless mistake, the outcome can be deadly. What do you think? Could these tragedies have been prevented? Should orcas be kept in captivity at all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.